Today is day 23. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so get ready. And we're going to talk about culture, and I'm going to fill out the map a whole bunch more, and then we're going to talk about rare and precious materials. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, Jordan here. The PH is silent. That's right. It's not Jorphdan. It's Jordan with a silent PH in the middle, and we're talking Endegar, the world that I am building in 30 days. We are on day 23, and today our web writer challenge is Culture 2. So we are revising or revisiting the culture. So start big with like major political groups and things like that, and then narrow it down. I started doing this, and I ended up just making the map a little better than the last time you saw it. So from here, I was working on some ideas of various locations. So I'm going to have like I think a Domitica kingdom here. This is going to be like a human kingdom. We're going to have another like larger kingdom under Domitica's rule over here, and then another human settlement up here. And then I kind of like dotted some farms around, and I need to keep doing that. And I don't think this is that big. I think it's like, I don't know, still a work in progress. And I added some trees and mountain or hills and things like that. So this will be some kind of fun forest, and then maybe I'll have something down here. But these little farm villages are just on the outskirts of the kingdom, so they're being protected by, you know, Domitica and her rule. But I need to basically make these kingdoms a little, I think I need to compartmentalize Domitica's domain so that they each have sections of stuff, because she can't rule all of it. I mean, she can, but she's going to have, you know, people to rule for her in her stead, because she's just not running around the whole area she has bigger things to think about. So you're going to have barons and lords and, you know, stewards and things like that. So that's the 4 things I wanted to create today. And if we talk about culture, like, I think the people probably, you know, there's probably a real royal family. And, well, let's just say this one up here, the royal family agreed to just follow Domitica. But this one over here, they did not. And so Domitica put somebody in place there. So those people are a little more upset that, you know, their king and queen are gone. And then down here, I'm not sure. You know, this is all new. But I needed names for these places. So I went over to our location in the database, and I started writing down names for a dwarven settlement, an elven settlement, and the Domitica cities. So here are some city names that I thought was fun, like Windspell, Snake Crest, Sear Branch, Wandgrieve, Belvertark, Stormfield, North Vale, Beggar's Hole, Arbington, and East Haven. So I think that we're going to have, we're going to add some of these here real quick. So let's do some text. So I think this over here will be East Haven. Oh, and we want our text to be, that's really cool. I can put it behind things. But let's put the text on number 5. Yeah. So I think this will be East Haven. And I liked the idea that it was formally, it was called something else. So maybe this was the kingdom of whatever. But since Domitica has taken it over, they ousted the royal family or whatever. So she put a government in place. And I think with that, they're like, well, you're no longer the kingdom of, you know, Bill. So we're going to call you East Haven, which makes sense because it's east of where her base is. And I like that. The other one, Windspell. So I liked Windspell, and for some reason this just felt like a Windspell, and so does this. And so I don't know if Windspell should be the capital, but I kind of like, I just like the word Windspell. So, and then maybe this is like a big windy cliff area, and I kind of like that as well. So maybe this is Windspell. Yeah, and if I want to... so Wind Spell, and then Wandgrieve is one I really liked, and I think this is going to be Wandgrieve down here, and maybe this is like a magic schooly area. I kind of like the idea of that. So we'll call this Wandgrieve down here. And finally, what should this one up here be called? And I mean, North Vale is an easy one, but Stormfield, maybe Belvertok. Is it run by a Belvertok or the Vertok family? And it's the Bell. So I kind of like that. Let's do that. Vertark. Of the Vertark, the North Hampshire Vertarks or something like that. Okay, so yeah. And then these are all interconnected, and I'm going to draw some roads at some point and probably change this up a whole bunch. But I like that these guys probably are good friends trading back and forth. This is also good at trading back and forth. There's probably trade lines here and here. Yeah. And then roads and what have you. So this is our, this is like the zoomed in map that I wanted. I'm going to start my adventure here, basically. So I wanted to do this. So as far as culture, I didn't get very far with that. I just didn't get very far with that. So I admit. So I need something to think. I need to think about this a whole bunch. But basically, mooted setting, the races and stuff like that. Some off the top of my head, really quick. I wanted to have dwarves trading with probably East Haven. I should make an East Haven. Dwarves trading with East Haven, and other areas. Secretly. Trade fishing between other places. Rebellion. Uprising in East Haven. To take out, to oppose Domitica. And then finally, Wandgrieve has a large library that is locked by the Quadrivium. And we can Wandgrieve. And so these are fun because I'm making Endegar database. So we're making new pages in the database as I am creating them. So I can go now to East Haven and Wandgrieve, and I can say that these are locations. And so then I can fill those out later. Okay, and so the other challenge today was what's valuable in your world? Is it gold or is it something else? And so as far as currency, I want to use copper, silver, gold, but the stuff that's stamped by Domitica. And so, I mean, gold is gold kind of a thing, but yeah, she's going to have her face on the currency, I think. So you know where you're from. And maybe other places don't take that kind of imperial credits or something. Anyway, the orichalcum is, we mentioned earlier, and I finally made a page for it. So this is a metal that is deep under the earth where the ethereal is mixing with metal and earth. And over the course of however much time, it forms this kind of, I use the term ghost-like metal, but I don't want it to be translucent or anything. It's a cold and it's light and it's a strong metal. And I think of it as this bluish metal down here. I just found this cool picture, but I like the idea of these are orichalcum ingots. And then I was thinking about because of the ethereal, maybe there's like a far realm, or maybe it's touching the plane of shadow or something, that elves can't use it. So in older fantasy, elves had problems wielding iron, and that is a mythological thing. And so iron filings would be used to keep fey creatures away and things like that. So I liked that. I want to take that and say that elves can't wield orichalcum blades. And that is strictly because of their fey heritage causes problems. So maybe a negative if they try to wield it. I don't think I want it to like burn their skin, but it just feels magically incorrect. And they would do much better with something that they created, like mithril, or wooden, more tied to nature kind of weapons. So yeah. So anyway, I thought a lot about orichalcum today and was working on that. And then I also said, like, the dwarves hold the secret to refining this. So elves never really tried because it doesn't, mesh with them. But humans are not. They're not the innovators that they think they are. So the dwarves are mining this and refining it, and they're the ones that are making really interesting orichalcum armor and jewelry and weapons and things like that. But the metal is easily infused with magic. So I liked the idea that, like, you could make orichalcum rings or necklaces and then infuse it with some kind of spell or spell-like ability. Be kind of cool. And then finally, so orichalcum is, I think, the main, thing, but we have mithril, gold, and silver. And then I had one more thing to talk about, and I forgot. Oh, so I was in locations, and I started thinking about the Fey realm. And Tiranaug is a Welsh or an Irish word for the world of the Fey. So I was thinking of calling it like Tyrna's land, but then I ended up going back to like the Fey realm. And then I was thinking of our Shadowfell equivalent, and I was looking at some words that meant twilight, dark, and gloaming is one. And gloaming is not something that I hear a lot, but like if they call it the gloaming, I liked that. And then I kind of just shortened that to the gloom. And this is a work in progress, but basically like the Shadowfell, the Darklands, the Deadlands, it's just a weird soul crushing place, negative energy, kind of like it takes away from you. So then I was thinking, I really love this picture. And what if the gloom or the gloaming has a perpetual darkness, but it's because this moon or this sun in the sky is eclipsed by a black void, and it follows it across the sky, but we don't really understand why. So how awful is that? Like you're walking and you have some ambient light, but you look up and there's just this void, this black hole. And that is where your emotions, your life force, either literally or figuratively, but like this thing is, it's just oppressive and it's above you. And so I liked this idea a lot. And that was inspired by this picture, which is just a really, really cool picture. So we're going to have this void, and then that could be a whole adventure. Like what's on the other side of the void? And, or is it a black rock, or is it actually nothing, or what? Can you go through it? Is it a portal? So really cool picture. Look at a bunch of art and get inspired by it was the point of that. Yeah. And I think that's all I wanted to cover today. Yeah. So for those of you, I was on Twitter. Well, I'm filming this on the 22nd. So I was on Twitter the 21st, Sunday night. Monday night. Sorry, today's Tuesday. And we opened a bunch of like WizKids minis that I had. So I do have some evenings free-ish. And I think I'm going to stream again tonight and maybe do some more map work. So if you're interested, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jordan with PH. And then we can hang out. And you can ask me questions about Endigar. It's fun. It's fun to hang out. Very chill stream. And that is that. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Mood 3. And What is the tech level? Does magic integrate with your technology? I like it. Thank you again, everybody. Take care. Happy holidays, and I will see you in the next video.